What's up, guys? I wanted to go ahead and discuss another games that I never really fully reviewed. Well, I've reviewed some, but I never reviewed all of them onto the channel. And if you guys are unknowing what I'm talking about, I'm going to talk about Gears of War. Now, again, I did do, Gears of War this deserves a remaster, Gears of War that deserves a remaster, and they do. All of them, I think, deserve a remaster. I gave Gears of War 4 a review. I reviewed 5, I believe. I think I reviewed 5. And when I tried, going and just, I remember playing these games like nonstop, man, and I remember being able to buy Gears of War, the first Gears of War. I'm going to tell you guys my story and my history with Gears of War in this video, more than I normally have. Gears of War, I remember in, I want to say right before the very, like around when the first game came out, and I want to say the second one was not far behind. When it first became, before it became a big franchise, I bought the game at GameStop. I remember I had my uncle with me at the time. He was like, "Hey man, check this out. Let's, go play it." I will, even though I will say this on a side note, my uncle and I may have our own issues, but at the same time, he was the one that introduced me to gaming, and I will always be grateful to him for that. But this right here, really, Gears of War was the game that also drew me further into Xbox. And the reason why is because I remember buying the first one, and I loved it so much. This world of trying to survive with monsters, and the humanity's on the brink of extinction, and all this crazy stuff, and then trying to go further into this world, like, what are these things, what's the locust, what's the queen about, and all this and that. And I remember then 2 came out in 2008, and I was obsessed with it, and then 3, and then 4, well, Judgment, and then you have 4, and then 5, and I remember playing 2 and 3. And I remember when 2 came out, I was so excited. I played it nonstop. It took me like, I want to say 2 days or a few days for 1 and 2. And I remember 3, it took me like a day and a half. And I fell in love with these characters. These characters were absolutely amazing. Marcus, Dom, you know, Cole, and Baird, and just all these characters that not only had a story of their own, but they lost something. Marcus lost his father, and I really drew to that because myself, not never knowing my own father, I really drew to that. And then also Dom, trying to find his wife and everything he went through. And I will say this, and I will say this proudly, when I first saw the scene where Dom has to kill Maria, I just sat there, and I remember I got so angry. I literally felt like I was Dom or Marcus, and I was like, let's kill all these guys. Let's just rip them apart. And that's how invested in this game I was, because I felt like I felt that pain, and the actors, the way they did that, I have so much respect for them, because this felt like it was a heartfelt moment because of a man that was looking for his wife for so many years, and she became pretty much a stone cold skeleton of herself that he no longer recognized, and she was pretty much just already dead, and he was just going to put her out of her misery. And I remember I watched that, and like I said, I got so angry where I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's kill them all. And I was in that, and I remember that. And then going into the third one, where, playing it and then going through everything, and then, seeing what happened to Cole, and just like, him losing, felt like he lost himself, and then regaining, his fans and his popularity in a way, and then knowing about, what all of them did, and then also, losing Dom, that way, because if you guys have ever lost a friend in an accident, or in a bad argument, or something like that has really hit you, it's gonna hit you. That scene still, I think, hits me to this day, where that scene was so powerful. and where Marcus says he lost his brother. It is probably one of the most heartfelt, intense moments in gaming, period. And that's how much I think Gears of War means to fans, because it not only is it about killing monsters, blowing crap up, but it's also a brotherhood, and you gain so much in that story. And then of course you have Judgment, which again, Judgment had a lot of mixed reviews. I know a lot of people, including myself, again, liked it but disliked it. Gears of War 3 still stacks up there, I think, to one of the best games in the franchise. Then, of course, years later, I remember when 4 got announced, I was just so excited. I was like on the edge of my seat, like, okay, when's it coming out? When's it coming out? When's it coming out? And I remember it came out, and I remember I pre-ordered it, and I just wanted the copy. And I remember I played it, and it took me a day and a half to beat it. Not even a full day. I was able to beat it, and I enjoyed it so much because of and it got mixed reviews too. But the reason why I loved it so much was because it brought more to the story. Marcus came back. We got to see Cole later on. We got to see Baird. We got to see the son of Marcus freaking Phoenix, and we got to see other characters that you kind of want to warm up to. But again, anyone that's an OG fan, you're going to care about Marcus. You want to see Marcus. You want to see Cole. You want to see Anya. You want to see, Baird. You want to see Sam. You want to see all these characters that we fought with in the previous games, bled with, and that we fell in love with, and that we are protective of, and we finally got to see them return. And again, it's like a 20-year span, but at the same time, it's just amazing of what they can do with this franchise. And then going into 5, I remember I did the same thing. I bought it. It took me like a couple days to beat it. I had a lot of crazy things going on. I had work and everything of that nature, and it took me longer to beat Gears of War 5. And then I was really wanting to know more about the story. And again, I liked Kate. It wasn't to the fact of I didn't like her. I did. It was just to the point of, okay, I want to go back to playing JD. I like JD, but then JD had this like whole thing of like change because him hurting his arm really badly, gaining more of a reputation in the COG, and then also Marcus returning to the COG, and then Baird, him being the head of DB Industries, and then of course Cole still returning to the COG, and Kate finding out that of course her grandmother was Mira, and that she was lab born, and all this that we found out in 5. There was just so much that we left on, and especially Gears of War doing something that they normally did not do, which was give us choice. And they normally did not give us choice. They gave us choice in this one, which again they never did. And I'm hoping when 6 comes out, they really don't give us choice, because I got a feeling that's what really hurt the game. And when I say big choice, like life decisions, I don't mean like, oh, go left or go right, because again, that's been going on since the first game. Again, that was not a big deal. But actual choice events that would do the butterfly effect. And again, I don't think that was a wrong thing to do. I just don't agree with the method that they did to perform those actions into Gears of War 5. And I don't think that would work for 6. I would rather just stay the course it should, and stay canon to certain things. Like, for example, Dell died or whatever. Honestly, I think it'd be better for story-wise if Dell did die. It would make more sense. Again, that is my own personal opinion. But overall, did I play Gears of War Tactics? No, I did not. I still thought about it. I'm not entirely sure. Again, I'm not a big fan of those types of games. I played Gears of War Pop as well. Gears of War 5 High Busters, I've watched online. I've never really played it because I've gone back and forth with Gears. I'm thinking about just getting back into it because Gears of War 6 is probably going to be here before we know it. I'm probably expecting it to come out maybe in 2024, something of that nature. But overall, Gears of War is something to me, is probably one of my favorite game franchises of all time. It's still a very fun game to go back to be able to enjoy, to be able to sink your teeth into, so to speak, and be able to enjoy the story, the characters, the gameplay, the weapons, the world of Gears of War that they have put into this amazing franchise. And I don't think I'll ever be able to be thankful enough to the ones that created Gears of War and be able to give us a great story, to give us a great characters that we have not only fell in love with, but we absolutely just loved, and that we want to see it end properly, that we don't want to see them die, but at the same time we want a good send off at the end of the day. So overall, guys, what are your thoughts about Gears of War? I personally like to know down in the comments down below. How much of a fan are you? I'd love to know. Are you a big fan? Are you a small fan? Either way, please leave a like on this video if you did enjoy that. I'd greatly appreciate it, as well as also help the channel out, get more out there, as well as subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Click notifications so you guys are notified. I've been going back to my roots for gaming and some movies, because again, this is what I built the channel off of, and I'm going to be continually doing reviews for the games and the movies. So hopefully you guys are enjoying. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll be seeing you guys on the next one.